It's 7:30. Good morning, I'm Ian Crouch with Hunter News. Police are treating an overnight house fire at Cardiff as a possible arson attack. The fire broke out in a rear lounge room of the house in Mary Street just after midnight. Fire crews contained the blaze, which only damaged the contents, but police say it appears the fire was deliberately lit. The family of 4 inside the house at the time escaped without injury. Hunter firefighters are joining a 2-week campaign to warn people of the dangers of heaters and bringing outdoor burners inside. Operation Cold Snap will see firefighters out of their stations and interacting with their local communities. Fire and Rescue Deputy Commissioner Tim Smith says they want to stop more people being killed this winter.
4 or 5 fatalities really worry us because they're not actually fires as such. They've just brought in indoor heaters, and those types of fires consume the oxygen in the air.
Police still haven't found any sign of a Williamtown man missing for 18 days now. A large 3-day air and ground search failed to find any trace of 55-year-old dementia sufferer Michael Fowler, who was last seen on Nelson Bay Road near the McDonald's outlet on July 3. He hasn't touched his bank accounts, and police admit they're running out of options to find him. The state opposition says TAFEs across the Hunter region will be targeted by the New South Wales government's recent funding cuts. There are fears the cuts will deny battlers and those in need of obtaining the skills they require to land better jobs. Wallsend MP Sonia Hornery says the risks of course cuts, potential campus closures and job losses puts low-income earners and young people at a disadvantage.
The most serious short-term effect that occurs with any proposed TAFE closures, campus closures and job cuts is that unemployment will rise, that those people on low wages won't be able to afford to get training and education.
Plans have been unveiled for a $25 million housing development opposite the University of Newcastle. It includes 10 multi-storey buildings featuring 42 houses and 113 residential flats, all aimed at students. Meanwhile, Newcastle Council will tonight consider a controversial 16-room boarding house earmarked for Wallsend, which has attracted complaints from neighbours in Crest Road. Farmers in the Hunter are being encouraged to get involved in National Farm Safety Week, which is now underway. The idea behind the week is to promote safety on our farms and encourage farmers and those in primary industries to learn about the importance of occupational safety. National Rural Health Alliance CEO Gordon Gregory says farmers are responding to the message, but more can be done.
The stats are heading in the right direction. There are less fatalities, thankfully, on farms now than there used to be, but still, we've got more than 50 a year. We had, I think, 24 or 25 in the first half of this year, and that's tragedy, because it is avoidable, as I say. If people only integrate a way of thinking about farm safety, which becomes part of their culture, part of their natural approach to things.
Sport, thanks to our sponsor, Warners Bay Sports Club.
Newcastle Hunters star Katie Ebzery hopes improving her performance will put her in good stead for selection in the Australian Opal squad for the FIBA Oceanic Championships. Ebzery, alongside fellow Hunters teammate Susie Batkovic, will compete as part of a 16-woman side for 3 games against Japan and Victoria next week. Opal's coach Brandon Joyce will use the matches as selection trials for his final squad. The Newcastle Jets are looking at more new recruits, with the club in talks with former Adelaide midfielder Cameron Watson. Watson has played 106 games for the Reds over the last 5 seasons and is a versatile defensive utility. Ben Kantarovski is currently the only defensive midfielder on the club's roster, just 3 weeks out from the FFA Cup opener against Perth Glory. And in cycling, Merryweather's Nicola McDonald is confident in her form as she heads off to represent Australia in the Under-19s team pursuit and individual pursuit at the World Titles in Kazakhstan next month. That's sport. I'm Emily Crowe.
To NURFM News Time, 26 to 8.